Again, moving away from that as well too, one of the things I wanted to ask was that you guys seem to have a confidence in this album compared to your past three albums. There does seem to be this sense of like words like it's fresh and it's exciting, and from the way you've been talking about it, it sounds like this is something like you consider your best album to date. To kind of put you on the spot, and I apologise, would you say that this is the best album you have?
I think this is our best album so far. But to be honest, when we recorded this album, normally, like I said earlier, we've sort of done it like bit by bit. You sit down and then you record the drums, and then you add the bass, and then you add one guitar, and then a second guitar, and then all of a sudden you added 30 guitars, and you just keep building it. And when you do that, you kind of get to know the album as you do it. So when you're done with the album, you're very confident about it. You're going, yeah, we've checked every corner, and yeah, we know this is a good album. But this time, we wrote a bunch of songs, and we chose out the ones that we liked, the ones that we thought would make the best album. So not necessarily our favorite songs all of the time. There were some songs that we really loved, but we left them out because we felt that they didn't fit in, or they didn't add anything. Picked out these songs. Okay, here are 10 songs. Let's make this is going to be a good album. Let's make this. And then we recorded it. We recorded it really fast. So to be honest, when we were done with it, I felt insecure about the whole thing. I was like, did we make a good album or not? I'm not sure, because it was also fast compared to what we've done before. So actually, I had to sit down and listen to it a couple of times when we were done, to sort of just to make sure that we made a good album. So I'm not sure how. I was very unsure of how people were going to take this album, and I said to the other guys in the band, I said that I feel this is a really, really good and strong album, but I have no clue what other people think, because we've been in our own bubble some time, and we knew that a lot of the references in this album are very you can always hear that we have taken inspiration from Iron Maiden, from Thin Lizzy, from all kinds of good bands. So I was really unsure about how are people going to say that, come on, guys, you just ripped off a bunch of great bands and made a crappy album. So we did. What we did was we played some of them. We did some shows in here in Norway, where we put up a couple of shows, and we just played new songs. Nothing from the previous albums, which is kind of risky towards an audience, because they never heard these songs before, and it's when you never heard any songs before, it's kind of hard to get into them. But the reaction when we played them live was amazing. People were just nuts, and they came up to us afterwards to say, "Fuck, these are really, really good songs." So we started to get a bit more confident that, okay, I think we made a good album. And the reaction so far from the press, I've done a lot of interviews this last month, and most of it has been very, very positive. And I think the attitude in the band is we've gained a lot of confidence over the last year, a lot more than we had before. So I think, I hope that you can hear it on the album, that it is a more confident band. We don't really need to hold back or do whatever we feel like doing, and as long as we do it full-hearted and 100%, But we always been, all of our albums have received really, really good reviews. Of course, not all of the time, but most of it has been really good. So we're kind of used to it. So it would be a bummer if people didn't like this album. It would be.
It's understandable, though. I mean, it would suck for you to think this is their greatest album, only to take a head dive with the people who's listening to it anyway. I mean, there's always that fear for bands.
Yeah, well, that was actually, we talked about that, because we were so confident, and we were like, yeah, this is going to be a great fucking album, and blah, blah. And then we realized, what if we get all fired up and no one really likes it? But then we just decided, okay, if no one likes it, then that would be really crap. But then again, we would have made an album that we were proud of. So
Kind of moving on and kind of almost wrapping this up, I just want to ask about tour dates as well too. I noticed that there wasn't any UK tour dates in sight, and I just want to ask, will that be something planned in the future for Audrey Horne fans in the UK?
No, actually there are not, because we're doing a European tour, but we have to jump off that tour just before the UK part. We're going on tour with a band from Iceland called Solstaffair, and a band from Germany called they're called Long Distance Calling. It's a weird name, so but anyway, they're called Long Distance Calling. We're going on tour with them, but we have a guitar player who also plays in a band called Enslaved, and he's already booked on a tour with Enslaved. So we're going to do that tour, half of the European tour, but just before the UK leg, we have to jump off that tour, because then he has to do a tour with Enslaved, which was a really bummer. But what we're doing is we're working on putting up UK gigs in that will probably be in the end of April. So hopefully we'll get over there, and if not entire tour in UK at that point, it would hopefully be a tour in the major cities in UK.
And also, just from a fan perspective, being a bit cheeky here, but are you coming to Glasgow by any chance?
Glasgow? Oh yeah, hopefully. We will definitely try to well as many as possible.
No problem again. Thanks again, Toschie, for the interview. Just to kind of wrap things off now, I wonder if you could give a message for the fans out there who are listening in.
Yeah, message for the fans. Well, our new album, Youngblood, is going to be out at the end of January, and hopefully you all pick it up and listen to it. It's, in our opinion, an amazing album, and according to some other journalists, it is an amazing album. So hopefully you will pick it up, listen to it, and hopefully you will enjoy it, and we will see you as soon as we get our asses over there to play for you guys.